in line with your 2023-2024 financial year annual work plan, you did enter into a contract with government, committing yourselves to certain minimum levels of performance, both quantitatively and qualitatively. Within that performance contract, which is aligned to your overall strategic plan, the strategic objectives that you intended to pursue over that activity period include reversing and stabilizing the declining trend across wildlife populations and resilient ecosystems, strengthening enforcement capacity, enhancing internal business processes, and excellence in service delivery, that is business process engineering, strengthening relationship with stakeholders and partners, enhancing the institutional capacity, and also enhancing financial sustainability. And in line with that, you committed to provide leadership in conservation, enhance partnership with the stakeholders, and also develop the relevant mechanisms that would facilitate financial sustainability. Arising from that, good people, in line with your core mandate, you did commit to enhance response to human-wildlife conflict, to mitigate human-wildlife conflict, enhance response to wildlife and visitor security threats, undertake conservation education awareness, develop and maintain the Kenya Signature Parks initiatives, develop and maintain adventure, wilderness and edutainment initiatives, and then develop marine park initiatives and enhance climate change resilience for wildlife and rehabilitate housing units, as well as develop the protected area management plans, among others. In all those interventions, there were very, very clear expected outputs by way of deliverables. There were very clear performance indicators, and there were also targets which were to be met within the activity period. Our role at this point in time, therefore, is to assess or evaluate whether or not the performance indicators were realized and whether or not the targets were met. And we need to look at this objectively, because it is the only mechanism we have at our disposal to ensure that the organization is on track in line with its mandate. So this process is going to be as objective as possible. At this point in time, we are looking for the evidence of performance. So we cannot now start varying the outputs, we cannot vary the indicators, we cannot vary the targets. Those then inform the denominator on which the performance evaluation exercise will be anchored.
I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the teams involved in implementing the performance contract for the year 2023-24, both from the Kenya Wildlife Services headquarters in the field, for their dedication and commitment under the leadership of the Director General, Dr. Kanga. I thank the Public Service Performance Management Unit for keeping track on the implementation of the same, without which it will be difficult to gauge the level of performance or promises made to Kenyans. And we have to report back to what we are supposed to do to Kenyans. I'm pleased to report that the Board of Trustees, I being the chair, and the members of the board are steadfastly committed to support the organization to succeed. And by this, we put them on toes also to do the best they can to make the promises fulfilled and in time. We acknowledge the strengths the challenges and opportunities that exist within the complex situation that Kenya Wildlife Service finds itself. We also understand the economic conditions of the country, but that notwithstanding, we still have to do the best to support the management to perform. Sir, when we in the midst of that year that we are relooking, we certainly know there are challenges that have to be confronted in order to perform. First of all, we know that resources are finite, and therefore it calls for prudent utilization of the same. But that can only happen if we set the tone at the top. Being the board, we set the tone at the top for the management to follow suit. And we did this through, first of all, development of a strategic plan. Because without a strategic plan, any road will lead us elsewhere. And therefore we are happy that the development of and finalization of the transformative Kenya Wildlife Service Strategic Plan 24-28, which was one of the targets in the performance contract, was achieved. And therefore, we feel that if the PC targets in the strategic plan are implemented gradually, it will end up giving us a full implementation of the strategic plan. Within this period, therefore, we also were concerned with the gaps in human resource. That human resource is a very important aspect in management. If we have big gaps in the human resource, then implementation becomes a challenge. And therefore we focus on that, making sure that right people are employed in the right places. And the management took that direction to implement that, and that should be in their presentation. Towards that also, our realization was that there was a big shortage, even in the staffing of those in operational tasks in the Wildlife Service, being a paramilitary institution. But coupled with that, there was need to have a culture change in terms of interacting within themselves and with communities out there. And therefore culture change and discipline is another area that we had to focus on through the management.